All right. Hello, everybody. Name's Mark here from Tech Hedge Pivot Live. Going to be going over the GENX system as well as some stock indication using the GENX system. Going to look at technical analysis. What's the market doing? SPY, QQQ. We'll look at some Tesla, maybe some Apple. We've got XRP. We can look at some Bitcoin, see what the market's doing real time. I'm trying to first time doing a live stream here. I'm using StreamYard Studio to do it. Not sure if I can see you on YouTube. Let me try that. That way I can at least see comments. So bear with me as I get set up. All right, I think I can see myself there now. All right, moderation, close, start poll. Nope, don't need a poll. So anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna get relaxed and get ready to do some analysis. If I see any opportunity to get into a trade, into a day trade and make some profit, I'm going to do it. So we're just going to have fun. We're going to do some technical analysis. We're going to analyze some stock. We'll start with SPY, QQQ, Tesla, Apple, XRP, probably add in a little bit of MSTR. I know that one's a pretty good stock that moves pretty good. So definitely want to put MSTR in the mix there. And then what I will do is I will have my Webull set up. This is a real live account. Got it set up for options. You can see, for example, like watch list, QQQ date, expiration date to the 24th, which is today, which would be a 0 days to expiration. And you can see if I did a buy option, 4 contracts or 1 contract, whatever it is, we would see the premium that I would pay for that based on per contract price. So gonna keep looking at that. I'm gonna close out a few things here. Actually, I won't need that. So going back to SPY. So you can see here, right? So this is the GENX system that we're using. It's on tradingview.com. The GENX system is a proprietary software that is utilized into TradingView. Let me close that down. All right, I see one watching now. That must be Danny. What's up, Danny? It's me and you, dude. We'll see how it goes here. Looks like, how can we get this? Let's see. I could send this link to somebody, right? Definitely welcome to comment in the chat box. We could chat there too. Let's see. Trying to get things moving here. All right. So SPY. You can see the These white lines here is the opening high and opening low in the first 5 minutes of the opening of the market at 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern time. And you can see it opened, touched the bottom, broke out of the opening high, came back, broke through the opening high, didn't confirm below the opening low, and is now reversing back to the opening high. So we got a little bit of choppiness here, but we can see a white dot with the red signal. So from this point here, trade would have been from here down to the at least the bottom, the opening low, down to even to this point. If you were to be able to close that out, that'd have been a nice trade there. And then here you see a white dot. This could be an entry as well. Even now, maybe a potential entry. Looks like we're at 604.54, which can go up to about 604.77 at least. I would see that SPY is going to most likely touch this opening high. QQQ, you can see it already did that and is testing above the opening high, but you can see there's some resistance forming there. So can it break through that resistance? I would predict that we're going to probably go up to the 538 range. And let's put MSTR here. Just got to keep it going, right, Danny? Just keep it going. Just do it. Look at MSTR. That thing looks cool. Dang, where's that going? Let's see, 2.7% up for the day. Definitely a lot of momentum. Oh, man, this looks good. Can it go all the way to 379? Man, that's an opportunity right there, huh? Let's see what Tesla's doing. Tesla, you can see, man, this is what we talked about last night during the GENX training. We got the red resistance. We have a white dot pop with the volume bops and a red signal, and there it goes. Got a nice healthy retest, and down it goes, right? So that'd have been a nice trade there. Apple, same thing. Red signal failed, and now coming back to maybe retest the opening low. XRP, what are we doing? Yeah, XRP, that's nice right there. Look, it's doing the opposite. Here we have a low opening high. We have a low with a higher low with the green support, and you can see XRP here. This is beautiful. I have a line here that I drew out. $2.20. I would predict based on this. We got some resistance here on the 3-minute volume, about 685,000 orders. That can be a resistance. You can see it touched it here, and it's testing it again. But with all this support here, a higher lows forming, you got a huge volume of 750,000 orders here, buy orders. Got a green signal. We've crossed over the trend line, and XRP is looking really good. Going back to SPY, there it is. So just like we were saying, right? Hit the opening high. What's it going to do from this point? If that's a strong enough reversal, it can again, it's probably going to come up and maybe touch the 605. One second here. All right. So let's see, MSTR. All right. Looks like it has a candle opening above the opening high. So we'll see if this retests back to the opening high and then decides to move forward, or if it will come back and and enter back into the opening box. But no, looks like just for information, we're on the 3-minute charts right now, and let's look at Tesla. Tesla's giving back some of the gains it got yesterday. I would imagine there's some profit taking. 10% jump is a pretty significant jump. They had their robo-taxi announcement yesterday, Austin, Texas. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how successful that is. I know there's a lot of energy, a lot of momentum. People are really wanting to see that be successful. A lot of new investors, institutional investors, retail, just piling in because they don't want to miss out on the opportunity of the success of Tesla. There's some reports and forecasts of Tesla going up to maybe about $1,000 per share. So people are not wanting to miss out on that. And so let's make this a little bit larger. All right, so XRP, you can see we just got a dot, white dot, showing increased momentum, increased buy-in. Which direction will it decide to go? My prediction is that it'll continue to go in the positive direction. There's a lot of support. It's crossed over a lot of resistance. It's now at its final resistance here, box profit 3, and has one final hurdle to overcome before it can get back to the 220 level. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely cheering for XRP. Definitely have a big portion of my portfolio is invested in XRP. I think they have a lot of opportunity to make a lot of people very wealthy. It may be a longer term hold than most people were expecting, but I think we're going in the right direction. So as soon as the SEC and the drops the case officially, even though they verbally have all agreed to drop it, it still has to go through the courts to get the stamp. That's the official stamp of the case being dismissed. All right, so now we got SPY. See. I should do this every day, huh? I should. You know what? If I'm here doing it every day anyways, right? So why not just do it live? It's a great idea. Why not? And if I do see an opportunity and I do see a setup that I decide to, because there's many setups and many opportunities to get into trades and day trade, make money, make profit. But when I do see something that I do decide to get into, I'll come over here to Webull and I'll, decide if I want to buy a call, which is on this side, or buy a put, which is on this side. If I click here, you can see it sets up for buying a put, and you can go through and set how many contracts you want, place the order and such. Right now I'm in a QQQ just as a placeholder here, but when I do see something I like, I can come here and go to Microsoft, MSTR, Nvidia, Palantir, SPY, Tesla, Apple, AMD, Amazon, and I can add to the watch list any stock or ETF that I want to trade. So again, SPY looks like, so we got it testing the opening high. Again, this opening high and opening low are set 5 minutes. It's what happens, the low for the first 5 minutes and the high for the first 5 minutes. The GENX system automatically draws those lines, and you can see we're now trading within that box. We call that the box. So we're trading within this box. Looks like some consolidation within the box. And so the more consolidation you have in the box is like a spring compressing. So when there is a point where the stock, or let's say in this case SPY, decides to break out of the box, you should see a strong momentum. And we can see a change in direction with these white dots that are built into the system. A white dot with the green signal definitely showed a bearish momentum. And then we have a white dot showing change in direction, and you can see that's where it changed direction. We still have a green positive momentum there, but you know, down here you can see there's another signal here, indicator, that shows bullish momentum and bearish momentum. And when these colors appear, it shows that there is a strong momentum in that direction. So you can see right now we don't have that, so we're in some choppiness. And then here with QQQ, again, we're at the top of the box. So depending on what this decides to do, if it tests the resistance at this level, 530, let's say 538, may test that, or it may just fail and come back. You can see a resistance line just formed there. I'm sorry, a support line just formed. This green support line showing, you know, we're getting a wedge, right? So that we got a resistance coming down. We have a support coming up. And so we're going to, it's like a pinball bouncing off the walls. It's going to find itself consolidating here until it gets enough momentum to break through either the support at the bottom and break down, or break up through this resistance. So we're going to see which direction it decides to go. You know, it can decide to do whatever it wants to do. So it can come up here, come back down, and just consolidate within this range. It can decide to come up and just break through the bottom. It could do the opposite as well. You know, so at this point, we'll see which direction it decides to go in. MSTR, wow, that's very nice there. That is very nice. You can see a lot of momentum building, and it decided, you know, that you know, you got this green signal, strong retest to the dots, very strong retest to the dots there, and then just a takeoff. You can see where the consolidation within the box, strong retest, and then decided just to break out. So MSTR made that move. You know, will SPY and QQQ make the same move and decide to break out to the upside, or will it fall? XRP, you can see, broke out of the box. You can see the box here. It broke out of the box, lots of support. I don't see XRP coming back to the 217 at this time. I would suggest here that we're going to go up to the 220 level. We may come back and retest maybe the 218, 217 level, but we're not going to stay there long. It's just going to be a strong retest, maybe to about the 218, maybe the 217.5. But you can see there's just so much support at this level. We got definitely some consolidation going on here. And so SPY looks like it's attempting to overcome the opening high. We'll see if, what do we got? 2 minutes and 36 seconds. What is QQQ doing? The same thing. So SPY and QQQ are following the same pattern. You can see QQQ, if it breaks out of this, can it break through the resistance at the 238 level? It'd be interesting to see. Yes, there is a link to join the Discord. It is down in the description. If you click at the description and go down to the bottom, you'll see there's a link there. You click on the link, it'll take you to this page where give you a little bit more information. Got some subscribe buttons, so you can take a look at what we're doing there. You'll see that we're focused on selling options. We do have and use different strategies. We do invest in crypto. We do educate in selling options. We also buy options. We also do some day trading. We also have an AI-powered options GPT that you get access to as well. Leave that open there. And yeah, so once you click on the button, you get full access, and you can join our community. $300 for onboarding. You get a 1-hour session where we learn about you, see what your goals are, see what you're hoping to accomplish with your trading, investing, see what your portfolio looks like, put together a plan of success for you. And also at the end of the month, we'll review your plan. Our subscription is $49 a month, and you get immediate access to the Discord, of course. You get live weekly Discord training, live weekly options trading sessions, and weekly reviews of cryptocurrency education. Like I said, the AI-powered chat GPT you get access to. And of course, we're going to be using the GENX system and showing you the power of the tool, in setting up trades. As you can see here, we were looking, and there you go. You can see SPY. I'm imagining QQQ did the same. It did. It broke out of the opening high. So, can it break through this resistance level? You can see there's a high and a lower high forming a resistance. And so can QQQ break through this resistance? You can see it broke through the opening high, hit the resistance, came back down, tested the opening low, and now breaking through. But maybe a little bit of consolidation there. We'll see what it does. SPY has a little more room up to the 605, let's say 30 range. MSTR is just moving. I mean, this is this is wonderful to see for crypto. You can see XRP's up 1.35%. I'm going to open up one more. I'm going to put Bitcoin there and see what Bitcoin's doing. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. So I'm going to come here to Bitcoin. Let's see what that's doing. And yeah, Bitcoin, that's nice. So I would imagine MSTR is heavily invested in Bitcoin, and so you can see Bitcoin's moving in a very strong bullish direction. You can see MSTR has a similar pattern. So if I click between the two, you can see there's a lot of similarities in the stock movement. So XRP is a little decoupled from Bitcoin, but I think crypto right now, Bitcoin, altcoins, XRP, different, Ethereum, different tokens are following pretty much the same pattern. There's times where they do decouple, but for the most part, they follow the similar trends. So very happy to see XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum in the green. Again, SPY, QQQ. Looks like a little bit that resistance is pushing down a little bit, so we're going to see if it'll be able to overcome that. Tesla looks like see this white dot just appeared there, so this potentially can be a reversal back up to the at least the opening low of 347. That's about a $4-5 move, so this is pretty exciting. Gosh, very, very interesting to say the least, because if this shows some positive momentum, it potentially can be a reversal. What we're looking for here is a green dot. We're looking for this cloud, this red cloud, to turn green. And when this turns green, if a green signal like this appears here, we may see another, at some point, we may see a line or a wick from the candle come down at a higher low, and then a green signal and Tesla come back. And at that point, I'd be very, very interested in opening a buy call order and riding that for some minutes to generate some profit. That's the trade I did yesterday. It was on Tesla. Very, very nice setup. $284 of profit. So Tesla decides to make that move. I'll be very interested to do that again. Apple looks like it's got a little bit of consolidation. Doesn't like being below the opening high, and looks like there's some consolidation there. If it cannot break through and decides to fail, then it can be headed towards a move to the down, maybe to box profit 3. So we'll see if it can overcome that. XRP, there it goes. We're going 220. It's what I predict, at least maybe a 220.5. So it looks like it's got some strong momentum and going in the right direction. So that's exciting. Bitcoin, same thing, right? Deciding to have some definitely some positive momentum. MSTR, same thing, maybe consolidation a little bit. Still got a healthy green green cloud there, showing it's still bullish. And so very, very excited to see the market where it's at. I know we had there was some fear with Iran and Israel and the war that was happening between the two countries, and then the U.S. involvement, of course, definitely causes a lot of fear, potential escalation, and caused the market to dip some. But fortunately, there was a ceasefire and a peace negotiation that causing the market yesterday to pop in the positive direction. And continuing today, as we could see overnight, we were up about 1% on the QQQ, and we're continuing that momentum. So very, very positive news. There goes the SPY. Like I said, probably going to test the 605 resistance. QQQ looks like you can see that line just broke. So we are now have a candle that is, you can see, has not closed above this opening high. So that looks like an opportunity. Danny, if you're on there still, potentially could be an entry here, right? Even this candle now, 538. Let's write down that number, 538. All right. And the potential entry, what do we got? 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It may not wait that long. It may decide it's going to go touch this now. So we're looking at it. 538.50 is the first target, which is very, very possible. In the short term here, that can happen now within the next, before the minute and 40 seconds is up. So very interesting. I'm going to go over here to the SPY. So you can see we touched that resistance, just like the system, the GENX system predicted, right? We were going to touch this line. We have. And can SPY break that line? I would say, if QQQ broke the line, it's possible. However, because SPY is SPY is the S&P 500 follows the same pattern. It's an ETF that follows that. You know, the QQQ is follows the Nasdaq, and both have similar stocks. They're weighted heavily in the same stocks, and so generally follow the same trends. So, you know, sometimes if one moves up, the other moves up too. If the other falls, the other falls as well. So sometimes the resistance, even though not showing here anymore, could still be some resistance that if this were to pull back, it would cause the QQQ to pull back as well. So, but yeah, 538.16. What do we got? 25 seconds. Four, three, two, one, and there it goes. Right. So we'll see. Can it? Will it approach the 538.50 on this candle? So very, very interesting. Let's see. SPY's got some resistance. Still a higher opening. We'll see if it can break through this resistance. If it does, the next target is 605.60. Let's see, MSTR. Man, this thing is running. Man, this is nice. You know, it's broken through box profit 2, box profit 3, and you know, could be heading to 338. Can it? I mean, up already 4% for the day. Can it continue to 388? That's amazing. Bitcoin, we see a positive momentum running with MSTR. We could see XRP is you know, has a little bit of a retest, little consolidation. All of that is healthy. You can see you get a run, you get some consolidation, you get a run, you get some consolidation, and so that's just the natural tendency of stocks. You know, they don't just go up in a straight line. They go up, they retest, consolidate, build momentum, and they continue that pattern. So we'll see. QQQ, we'll see if it can break through and get to the 538.50. SPY looks like it's pushing that resistance. It's definitely testing that resistance. I mean, that's pretty clear, pretty obvious. MSTR is definitely still has a, you know, you can see this is just very healthy, very nice. And here we go. We got the dot. Got a little bit of a green, there. Waiting for the signal. Waiting for the green signal. Hopefully maybe even a trend line showing a reversal. So once Tesla reverses, see a signal, I'd be very interested in entering a day trade. I'd do a buy option on that one. And then here we're seeing Apple has a similar setup, right? So we can see there's the GENX has not drawn the line, but I'm drawing the line because that potentially could be what's going to happen there. And if that happens, then, you know, we'll see a green signal here. We'll see Apple come back to at least the 203 range. And then Bitcoin, wow, just very, very nice. Just continuing to on an upward trend. And so SPY, yeah, testing the resistance. So you can see a big candle, got a little bit of a smaller candle there, and then a smaller candle here. So can it be, you know, so what we're looking at basically is a a wedge here, right? We're looking at a wedge. Can it break through this wedge? We're going to find out here shortly. Let's see. I'm going to go over here and check on some news, see if there's anything happening in the news. All right. Powell tells Congress Fed can wait as Trump amps up pressure. I got word that Powell is mentioning possible rate cuts, but nothing confirmed at this point. But any positive news that comes out, right, that's has to do with rate cuts, man, people get excited. They want to grab onto it. They want to grab hold of it, and they want, if the rate cuts happen, they, any positive news of rate cuts is just going to move the market in a dramatic way. So I think there's a lot of people that have cash that, if they're hesitating, they're putting it in because we're getting closer, right? It's been 6 months. We haven't had a rate cut. And so any indication of a rate cut coming, especially from Powell, is going to cause the market to jump. I mean, that's just a given. Once you get a rate cut, you get more people that have their money maybe in T-bills or other cash reserves, where they don't get as much benefit from having it there because the interest rate return on that investment gets lower. So they put it into more riskier stocks, such as like the stock market, crypto. Well positioned to wait on any interest rate adjustments. That's funny. I hope Congress really works with this very dumb, hard-headed person over who will be paying for his incompetence for many years to come. Very nice words. All right, let's see. Is this? Let's see if we can play that. Come back here real quick. So we can see, look, so now we look at the SPY. It looks like it failed to break through the resistance. So now what I'm looking at is, can this be a reversal? If we get a very, very strong reversal, we could be coming all the way back to 603. QQQ, I would suspect, is doing the same thing, right? So we can get a strong reversal all the way back to maybe 536. MSTR, so when there's news that, oh, we're not getting a rate cut, what? It's like it has an impact on people's decisions. You see it live in the market. You see the reaction. So if you could be in touch with certain things that are happening, you can make moves, you can capitalize, and you can make a lot of money. Let's just put it that way. You can make a lot of money. Apple, not as affected by it. Looks like it's still holding pretty good. XRP, well, that's a pretty dramatic shift there. I'm not too concerned. I'd expect the retest of at least this level. We may see this pull back to the trend line, possibly retest the 217.5, but I don't see it going much lower than that. Bitcoin, same thing. That's a very, very healthy retest. In fact, man, this is nice. So you got the green signal, right? You had a lot of positive momentum. Get some consolidation down, touching the dots. We'll see what the next candle does here in 29 seconds. Very interesting. Let's see. Yep. SPY testing, it's pushing, it's testing it. It wants to break through, but doesn't have enough to get through. QQQ, MSTR. All right, Tesla. Apple's still holding really nice. I mean, gosh, this is very interested to see what Apple's going to do. 100 basis. Okay, just like I said, we're holding on the trend line, so I would suspect there's a lot of support for XRP, and of course with the Bitcoin. So you can see very healthy retest. This is very strong. A green candle here, very nice. We're seeing some consolidation. Mr. Chairman Powell, later this week, the banking agencies will be proposing changes. Right. So again, SPY is continuing to retest. We got some consolidation. Very, very nice retest to the support. Yeah, we could see the QQQ running higher. MSTR, nice consolidation, very clean. Little retest to the cloud, potential continuation, the upside. XRP, very nice retest, bounce. Again, there it is. Bitcoin, right? Nice, healthy retest to the dot. Green entry, and then pop. There it is. Nice, very nice. That's very nice. It's interesting how they attack each other and character assassinate each other and try to pull things towards their side. But it's very interesting, right? We got a government that has a house. It has the Democrats and the Republicans, and since I guess the beginning of the founding of the country, they've been against each other, and so it's amazing that we can be united. We call it the United States because even though we have opposing sides, we still are able to function as a country and be successful as a country. So there we go. So SPY broke through that resistance. You can see it just broke that line. So I would imagine QQQ is doing the same. There it is. So now we got a test up to the 538.5, like I was saying earlier. Very, very healthy retest. This could potentially be going, all the way up to 538.84. So the 538.5 is the first target. And it looks like we're very close to doing that. Looks like it got all the way up to 538.4. So, definitely looking that way. I think we should start to see Tesla. The line numbers. Some consolidation. Apple, some consolidation. You can see this is wedging on an upward direction towards the opening low. But you can see we got a wedge forming there. So we'll see what it can do. Very nice. I want to see XRP get to 220. It needs to break through this line of resistance here. You can see the resistance that's formed here. So we need to break above this 219.3, right? So we're right there at that point. So we need this to break out. So we got 35 seconds. Can XRP break through this resistance? If we can see that, I think we're going to the 220 at least, maybe even the 220.5. So you can see this wick is already higher than these wicks. So to me, that's some strong momentum. It's a common business model these days. Bitcoin, same thing. Very, very nice. That is an A. We call that an A+ setup, right? A+. That's A+ right there. Get in right there and go for the ride. MSTR, that's very, very nice consolidation there. That's very nice. So 338.24. Can it get to the 538 50. I'm going to say it will. All right. Yeah. If you're watching, make sure you click that like button. Yeah. It's very interesting because if the economy's strong and everything's great, they're saying they don't want to lower rates. It's like a double-edged sword. So if the tendency is to continue to say, we're not going to cut rates, we're not going to cut rates. That's what we're hearing, right? We're not going to cut rates. We're not cutting rates. We're not cutting rates. We're not cutting rates. So with that continue, we're not cutting rates, you can see the market does not respond well to that. And so that's going to hold the market back. Oh, look at that. It hit 538.6. It actually hit the target. It hit the target. So what is it going to do from here? Yeah, because Trump's the president now. But they cut rates right before the election. I wonder why they did that. Yeah. So let's see. All right. So the MSTR, nice consolidation. If we see a green, if we see a green candle here, could be a nice entry. Apple still consolidating. XRP, Bitcoin looking very nice. It's the uncertainty of the potential of the uncertainty. Oh man. All right, there it goes. There we go. 538.50. Hit the target. That is the target. Right on the money. Literally. Now, is it possible we're going to 539.5? I guess it is possible. Up 1.3% for the day, QQQ. MSTR has the potential as well to break out. Tesla, Apple, again, setting up. This is setting up. XRP, and there's Bitcoin. All right, so there's the 538.555. And it's holding pretty good. Very, very nice. Look at all that support. QQQ, so much support there. I mean, that's incredible. All right. That's nice from this point here. That's a nice run. Yep, still got consolidation there. MSTR. Tesla. Still some consolidation. We'll see. Apple. Still got some consolidation happening. Not a lot of movement in the market at this time. Bitcoin still a positive momentum. Looked like there was some dip retest. Go all the way up to 105 790. MSTR still in consolidation right at the dots, getting close to retesting the uh, trend line, the 15 trend line. Waiting for a momentum change on Apple, Tesla. Looks like they hit some bottoms and they're holding pretty strong. We're waiting for a positive momentum shift in those two. Let's see if we can look at something else. Let's look at Palantir. I know Palantir has had some nice movement in the last week and a half. Look at all that volume. That's insane. So they got the opening low, the opening high. You had 244,000 orders at this level. Lots of support at the 139 level. Just tons of support there. Green signal, got a little bit of a red signal here, momentum, but you can see this green momentum is actually showing where we got some very strong, we got overlapping buy orders, right? So you got a buy order here, 244,000 at this level of 139. And then you have another level of buy order, 550,000 at this level at 141, right at the opening high level. So lots of support for Palantir. This is, yeah, definitely lots of support. Yeah, the UVIX. I mean, if you're interested in risky plays, which I am at times, I would say go into let's say the 1 hour chart on the UVIX. You can see here there's a lot of support at the 23.9, 24 range. For right at that support. I mean, that's June of 2025 was the last time. I'm sorry, June 11th is the last time we hit that level. And there was a strong bounce. If I go to the daily chart, got a lot of activity there. So we can see there's a lot of support there at the 23.5. And then again on the weekly, or right there at a bottom. And if we look at the VIX, you can see there's a lot of support here at about the 13, 14 on the weekly candles. Now, if you look at the daily, you can see lots of support right at about the 15, 16 level. And on the 1 hour chart, yeah, very, very interesting. So we got another dot pop here. Are we going to see a momentum push to the upside or to the downside? So usually we see this signal. We see a momentum shift. So we'll see this is some consolidation. You can see here, wedging in. And so we're probably looking at a movement or going in the bullish direction or down. So MSTR is continuing its consolidation down to the trend line. Tesla continuing to move sideways. Let's go back to Apple. And so Apple again is kind of sideways consolidating. So yeah, we still got some consolidation on Apple. So we will wait to see which direction it decides to go in. XRP, okay, you saw this green line appear, meaning there's strong support level. So based on that, I would see that we're going to be consolidating maybe in this range. We got to break through this level of about 219.5. So we're right there at the 219, and so we just got to break through that. That's what needs to happen. It just needs to break through and get up to the 220 level. All right. So Tesla, you can see it pulled away from this cloud, pulled away, it tested it, came back, tested it, tested it. Now it's testing this cloud. So we may be getting ready for a reversal. If it fails to reverse, we could see a retest and then a collapse down to all the way to the 334 potentially. But, we'll still have to pass through the 339. So, but if it decides to break through, then we could be coming all the way back to 356. So we can see we got some green dots forming. So I'm keeping an eye on Tesla. And then what I'll also do is I'm going to go to my Weeble and I will get Tesla ready. If it decides to reverse, I will decide to get in. And if I get in, then I'm probably looking at maybe 2 contracts, about $1,500 to enter. You can see it's about $760 per contract to get in. So if I place that order, it gets me in. So I'm gonna keep an eye out on Tesla here and see let's see if I make that decision. I'm gonna write down the price that it's at now. 343.77. So we got 7077. What do we got? 1 minute and 35 seconds left to see what happens here. Could this be a reversal? SPY, we got a green signal on SPY. That's nice. Let's see, QQQ got some positive momentum. So we know Tesla, Apple, we know these companies, NVIDIA, they are a part of SPY. They're a part of QQQ. So when they move or the market moves, they kind of will run together because they're weighted heavily. Like Nvidia, one of the top stocks, Apple. When Apple moves, it moves QQQ, it moves SPY. So we could be getting ready for a nice move. Man, so that'd be great. Be nice to see that, get into a trade. But at this point, I don't see a confirmation. I don't see a signal or confirmation that tells me get into the trade. Apple's setting up. You can see it. It broke through the opening high, came back, tested it, failed, came back, and now testing again. So if it can break through, you can see everything came together. Everything's coming together. You got the opening low, you got the volume weighted average, you got the trend line. Everything's coming to a point here. If it decides to break through the opening high, we are most likely going back to 203. So Apple's also a nice contender. You can see that's nice. Tesla, we'll see if it can do it, but if not, if it fails, and all those buying, all that buying that was pushing and pushing and pushing, if we run out of buyers, then the sellers take over, and what happens is the stock will start to go in the bearish direction, in the downtrend. And if that happens and we get a signal, we could buy a put and make some money on the way down. So very interesting. We'll see. Could be chopped the rest of the day. But yeah, so there's XRP, right? Very, very nice. $2.19, holding very nicely there at that level. You can see as the support continues to increase, we will see XRP continuing to trend at this level. Lots of support. So that's very nice. We got a nice portion of my portfolio in XRP. Also have some Bitcoin. Also have some Ethereum and some Link as well, chain link. And what we're looking at is, the Fed Chair Powell is currently live in Congress, being interviewed by Congress, being asked about interest rates, interest rate cuts. Because we know that the interest rate cuts have a huge impact on stock prices in the economy, investments, banks, our borrowing rate, right? They drop the interest rate, our credit card interest rate goes lower, our ability to get loans, housing, mortgage rates goes down. And so, the 538.5 was the first target. Looks like we hit that target and we're holding above that target now. So we'll see if QQQ can continue to push and get to the 539.5 today. That'd be very interesting. But you can see the wick is higher. We got a higher wick. And so we are, potentially going in that direction. Let's see, Tesla got some green signal there. It's can it do it? All right, let's go back and see what QQQ is doing. So there you go. You got the wicks, you got momentum. We're still headed in a bullish direction. All right, we got a white dot on the SPY. Are we increasing momentum in the positive direction? Are we going to hit the 606.3? Tesla, I would imagine, Apple. So there we go. Very strong retest of the opening low. So if we can break through this, Apple's going to have a nice run all the way back probably to 203. That'd be nice. I'm waiting for that one too. So I'm taking a look at Apple and Tesla, waiting for them to reverse and come back. You can see here we have there it is there. All right, I'm gonna draw this. I'm gonna draw it there, but I'm gonna bring it down because when the Gen X system shows that green line, I want to be able to see if green signal. I mean, we pretty much are right at that moment where this could be a very strong entry. Still consolidating all the way to the trend line. Very interesting.